Chairete ophiloi ente oikumene, pantelos argosekete. Hello friends around the world, I hope you are enjoying real leisure. My name is Dr. David C. Noe, and I'm coming to you again to share a brief Greek lesson, something I have learned from my study that you can incorporate into your own enjoyment of this beautiful and powerful language. Today's lesson comes from the philosopher Aristotle. Now, this is an author I have read and studied before, but I've actually never covered him on any of my Latin per diem lessons, nor in these office hours. So I thought it was a good time to take a look at Aristotle. He was born in 384 and he died in 322. Here he is right here. Aristotle was both a student of Plato, right, and he was the teacher or instructor of Alexander the Great, and he died 1 year after Alexander's death. So Alexander died in 323, Aristotle in 322. Today's lesson is from the Nicomachean Ethics. Now this is from the very beginning of the Nicomachean Ethics, and the text that we're using is from Oxford Clarendon Press, 1894. It's a public domain text. So I'm going to read the opening sentence, a part of the opening sentence, and then point out some interesting features of the Greek. Here it goes. Passa techne kai passa methodos homoios de praxis te kai proirisis agathutinos ephiesthai doke. Diakolos apephe nanta tagathon hupant ephietai. Now here's my own rough translation. This is not polished off or made to sound especially idiomatic, but that's okay because remember, we think that what we have of Aristotle are not his original compositions, but actually notes drawn from his students as they were listening to him lecture. So this is about what it sounds like. All skill, that's techne, and all method, and similarly all practice, that's praxis, or all application we might say, and likewise proirisis, purpose or scope of action, seems to aim at something good. And then the sentence goes on. Therefore, they spoke well when they said that the good is that at which all things aim. Now I want to go through just a few elements of this interesting sentence and draw out the lessons for you. Notice first of all we have 4 abstract nouns, each one in the feminine. It's techne, methodos, also praxis, and proirisis. Now, what is techne? Well, techne, as I mentioned, could be skill, sometimes translated technique, as well as methodos. This is the way of approaching something. In the word methodos is the Greek word hodos, or road. Then we have 2 more abstract nouns. We have both praxis, which is related to the verb prato, to do something, and the last one is proirisis, which has to do with choice. So it's translated purpose, plan, scope of action, according to the LSJ, the Liddell, Scott, and Jones lexicon. Now there are 4 nouns here you see in the feminine singular, but they are together the subjects of the verb doke, which is a 3rd singular present indicative active. So what about the object? Well, it doesn't really have an object, but we have the infinitive ephiesthai. Now this infinitive means to aim at, and I looked up some potential Latin equivalents of this because I like the idea of comparing Greek and Latin. I think it makes for a deeper experience. And what I found confirmed my suspicion. Ephiesthai can be translated as peto, appeto, or kupio, to aim for or to desire. And so we could say that the object, I'm going to go over here now, the object of ephiesthai is agathutinos, something good. Now the conclusion of the sentence goes like this, diakalos apephe nanta. So what we have here is the verb apaphemi, which means to explain or to say, apaphemi, and the form here apephenanta is a 3rd plural aorist indicative middle. The Latin equivalent would be explicare or exponere, that is to set out to explain. So therefore they explained kalos, they explained well or wisely, tagathon, the good, see tagathon, as that at which all things, panta, ephietai. Now the quick lesson. Panta, right here, neuter plural accusative, is the subject of ephietai, this verb which means to aim at. Remember, to aim at. Peto, appeto, or kupio. Now you might be saying, how can a neuter plural accusative, panta, be the subject of a singular verb, ephietai? Great question. This is a standard feature of the Greek language at all eras and stages of its existence, and that is that a neuter plural a neuter plural subject takes a singular verb. So we're going to look at H.W. Smythe, one of my favorite authors, his Greek grammar, specifically section 958, where he says a neuter plural subject is regarded as a collective, noun. In other words, a collective noun is one where you have a number of things, but they're treated as just one thing. So a neuter plural subject is regarded as a collective noun and has its verb in the singular. Thus, panta here is the neuter plural subject of ephiatai. Look, if you've enjoyed this lesson, if you like the depth to which I'm going in my explanation, you like to see things compared to Latin, you get a little bit of the historical background and so forth, then I'd like you to do two things. First, like and subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be notified when I release new instructional videos like this one. Secondly, please go to MossMethod.com and check out my other free instruction. I have prepared a lot of resources for you to go deeper into the Latin language. And check out, while you're there, my program, my course called MossMethod for Greek. It takes you from neophyte to erudite. That is, from no knowledge of the Greek language to a deep knowledge, the kind that I have tried to demonstrate here, so that you can enjoy this language as well. And if you sign up for the MossMethod course, you get to spend an hour per week with me and other Moss students around the world studying Greek. We'll look at Homer, Plato, maybe Aristotle, and of course the New Testament, because that's the language in which all of these works were written. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.